let's talk more about what the right hand's doing. So you can do things where on the right hand, you just play triads. And when I got started doing this, that was all I did. I played triads as 1, 3, 5. And wherever I was going, I just kept that same shape and moved around. In fact, when I first started playing, I was in C. I would spread my fingers like this. This works okay, but it's more comfortable going. And so you've got these 3 fingers. You can also play other inversions though. So you can play these 3 notes with the C on the bottom, play the C chord, but you can also put the E on the bottom. So instead of this C, I go up an octave. So 1. Or instead of the 3rd on the bottom, I can put the 5th on the bottom. And so these 3 inversions are almost all of what I use when I play different ways of playing into chords. So I have and no. So this one with the 1 on the bottom, this one with the 3 on the bottom, and this one with the 5 on the bottom. And often what you want to do when you're switching between chords is switch to the one that requires the least movement. So if I'm playing a D and I want to play instead a G, I can go, and that requires only moving 2 of the notes up. If instead I went to D and I played G like, that sounds very different. And sometimes you want that effect, but usually I don't. So usually I'm going like, I'm playing as small a change as I can. And then what I do within the chord is, so the simplest version, you play the whole chord together. Well, okay, the simplest version you play. But as you get more complicated, you play the whole chord. And then you can get a little more complicated and you can play arpeggios, where you play different notes from the chord in different patterns. And this lets you do more complicated rhythms than you could do if you did the whole thing. So I go, that's a lot all at once, and it doesn't sound as good. Is, I don't know, is a bit more interesting and has a bit more sort of, more variation to it. Lets me emphasize different portions of the beat a little differently. And so you can do arpeggios where you're playing only the notes from the chord. So like, sorry, I keep adding other things because I'm not paying attention. Let me try again. I'm playing only the notes from the chord. So you can play only from the chord, but it's nice to add in some other notes. And generally you're adding other notes from whatever scale of the key you're playing. So if I'm in D, no, there you go. Okay, so if I'm on like, so I'm sort of playing around, and I guess what I'm adding is the 2 and the 4 into my 1, 3, 5. Probably also the 6. Less likely to add the 7, but I might add from about to go to the 1. So one thing to notice is my basic chord shape here is actually just the 1 and the 5, and I'm playing around with that. I'm not adding the 3rd because that's a little too high, or because that's a little too low. I'm just doing the 1 and the 5. I often like to play 1 and 5. didn't actually move with my right hand. My right hand is still playing around as if I'm on the 1. So I'll often do this to add tension, is I'll stay in one chord shape with my right hand as I move around with my left hand. So there I went from playing this relatively inconsistent, possibly if you want you can think of it as some kind of jazz thing, but I'm just thinking of it as playing the 4 on the bass and the 1 with my right hand. But then when I went to the 5, I sort of resolved this tension by playing a full 5 chord across both hands. And then I went back there. That's a lot of what I play with. All of this I really just learned by playing around, by slowly building up from things that are sort of single chords, always the same inversion, to teaching myself the different inversions, to doing arpeggios within the chord, to adding notes, to do interesting patterns. And all of that I'm able to do because my left hand is really holding it down. And my right hand is free to sort of bounce around and be flighty. That sort of thing. Thank you.